Hi there, this is the brand new Sony Vaio Duo 13. It's a slider Windows 8 tablet, and it's based on the new Intel Haswell 4th generation Core Series processor. So this new Sony Vaio Duo comes in either an Intel Core i7 or an i5 processor. So it's a very powerful laptop. As you can see, we've got the keyboard and trackpad here, just like a regular laptop, but it folds down into a 13-inch tablet. We've got 10-point multi-touch, and we've also got a digitizer pen interface. As you can see, we're running Windows 8 Pro, so we've got the full desktop access that you would expect from a laptop, and you can see how we can navigate around the system using touch. And that nice multi-touch interface is very easy to use. The screen itself is a high resolution. It's 1920 pixels wide by 1080 pixels high, and that's what we know as full high definition or 1080p. So we've got a beautiful high resolution screen. As you can see, we've got quite good viewing angles. The screen is a little bit reflective, but it's a really vibrant colour on the tablet. Sony have this feature that they call the Triluminous display, which is meant to give you better ranges of colours and shadows and things like that, better texture and detail. And from what I can see here, it is a really nice looking display. The sliding mechanism is pretty effortless, and if we have a look up close at the edge of the screen here, you'll see how very thin the screen part is, and in fact the overall tablet is pretty amazingly thin for what it is. Just having a look at that slider mechanism there, you'll see that it is spring-loaded. Looks fairly cleverly designed. I've always been worried about these slider mechanisms, the fact that they might break, but then I guess any laptop has a hinge, and that is a point of weakness on all laptops. This one seems like it's pretty well designed. It feels pretty solid, and I wouldn't be too worried about it. Looking on the back of the tablet here, you can see we've got two USB 3 ports, which is great, nice high-speed USB ports. We've got a full-size HDMI port there, fairly easy to run that straight out into an external monitor. And here we've got an SD card reader as well as the Sony Memory Stick Duo format there. Got audio in and out on the side here, as well as our power input. And in terms of ports, that's really it for this tablet. There's nothing else to it. On the back we've got a webcam just here, so that's an 8 megapixel webcam, and on the front we've got a full high definition webcam as well. As you can see, the Vaio Duo has NFC built in, which should open up some interesting possibilities in the future for connectivity with this device. The power button on the side of the tablet is very subtle. You can see it just on the side here. It's a little bit hidden away. The only other buttons that are on the tablet are here on the bottom side of the tablet, so we've got our volume up and down. We've also got this assist button which runs the Sony support utility on the tablet. But just on the side here you can see that we've got a little, I don't know what you'd call this, a pen holder, a slide out that comes out of the tablet so that you can sit the tablet down like this and place the pen on the side like it was an old style fountain pen. But on these sorts of tablets, the pen is really quite an important piece of equipment, so let's take a bit of a look at that. I'll just run Microsoft Journal here on the tablet. You can see that the Windows 8 search facility is really great for that sort of thing, for finding programs and documents. What I've found is this pen here is made by a company called N-Trig. Typically when we think about digitizer pens for tablets, we've always preferred the Wacom pens, and the Wacom pen has been something that's been around for a long time. The technology is really well developed. Probably in the last 5, maybe 6 years, I'm not sure, but we've had this brand come along. This is an N-Trig pen, and typically N-Trig pens have been the poor cousins of Wacom pens. They've never been as good. Sony have really done a good job though bringing the N-Trig pen up to speed, and you'll see that the tip of the pen is a really nice fine tip. It's a very quiet pen, so if I tap the tip there it doesn't make any noise. It feels really solid. We've got 2 buttons on the side of the pen, so as I write on the page You can see that the pen is really responsive. It keeps up with me very well. I don't miss any text as I'm writing. I used to find that sometimes you'd write a T and you wouldn't get the full cross on the T with the N-Trig pen. It would miss and you'd have to apply a bit more pressure. This is really good. This is up to the standard of the Wacom pen in terms of its feel and its usability. As with Wacom, the N-Trig pen is pressure sensitive as long as that particular program that you want to use supports it. I've heard varying reports as to whether that works in Photoshop and the like, but as I understand it does work. So it has 256 degrees of pressure sensitivity, so it is just as capable as the other pens, the Wacom pens and the like. So you can see it's a really good pen and writing experience. This is going to be a really great note-taking tablet, and that's where we really feel that the Sony Vaio Duo 13 is going to excel. Interestingly, here in Australia, the i7 model does come with 4G capabilities, which is great, and that'll work on the current 4G networks in Australia. So if you're the kind of person who uses a laptop maybe 70% of the time, but wants to take notes in meetings and so forth, then the Vaio Duo is a really good option. Perhaps also for graphic designers and people like that. Check out the details on the N-Trig pen to find out whether your program's going to work with it or not. But it's a really beautiful tablet. This screen is really quite massive and it's high resolution at 1920 by 1080. I don't think you can get much better than that. In terms of performance, 8GB of RAM, i7 processor, 256GB solid state. And it all comes in this, it's a 1.3 kilogram package. You can see that you know, it really is, it fits the Ultrabook mold in terms of a light, high performance laptop, but having that extra capability of the touch screen and tablet mode, and as well as the digitizer pen, really makes this quite a magnificent option, not to mention of course 4G support. One of the key things about this new Vaio Duo 13 is that it does have that Intel 4th generation Core Series chip called Haswell. So this particular model is an i7 model, incredibly fast, much faster than previous models, but the battery life is really something to write home about. So we've gone from having a tablet that might last for about 4 hours, for example, like the previous Vaio Duo 2, and we've gone up to this one where we have a bigger screen and a more powerful laptop that's lasting up to and over 8 hours of battery life, which is just really incredible. So it's now possible, thanks to that Intel Haswell chip, to be able to run all of your standard programs that you run on your laptop or desktop PC on a tablet for up to 8 hours. We're talking about programs like Microsoft Office, maybe QuickBooks or MyOb. We're talking about things like Photoshop, for example, not to mention of course the many Windows Store apps that can be found on the device that are touch friendly as well. You can run all of those for up to 8 hours, which is just really incredible, and you can see that the performance is just spot on. This is really what people have been looking for in a Windows tablet for so long, and it's now been delivered.